This match delivers something far more dramatic than expected. A 1-1 draw that felt like a victory for South Africa and a warning sign for a Czech team that continues to disappoint. South Africa leaves a much better image than against Mexico, and Czechia leaves an even worse one than with South Korea. This wasn't just a draw, it was a tactical story of fear versus courage, structure versus chaos, and one man rising above everyone else. Mokoena is the best footballer on the pitch by far. He's an absolute Kaiser. This match versus South Africa, first World Cup point in 16 years, and Mokoena celebrated it like a Cristiano Ronaldo style. My name is Alejandro Mendez. I'm a football video analyst, and today we're breaking down South Korea versus Czech Republic. Let's check the formations first. Czech Republic start with his coach Hasek. They started with a 3-5-2 with Kovar on the goal, Holz, Hranek, and Krecic. Wingbacks for Kufal and Shoshka. Midfield for Darida, Cherry, and Sadilek. And forwards for Slasek and Schick. Krejci was unusually conservative. Uh, we're used to a better form for this player, the captain, and it was just too conservative for my own taste. Shoshke started instead of Jurasek as well. Shushek was benched until the 67th minute. Schlossek the only attacker with some kind of mobility, and Czechia has more individual quality than South Africa, but they didn't show it. On the other hand, for Hugo Bros, we have Williams, the goalkeeper, Modao, a really good player, and really enjoying this right back from South Africa. Center backs for Ocon and Mbokasi, Modiba, midfield for Mokoena, Adams, and Kulise, wingers for Maseko and Apolis, the number 7, actually starting this time, and a striker for Reiners. They switched from a back 5 to a back 4, and they were pressing much higher than against Mexico. Mudau was very aggressive, Mokoena as a lone pivot, he had total domination, and South Africa played with much more need today. They actually showed that they wanted to win. Czech Republic, on the other hand, they started strong. In the first 10 minutes, they were the only phase where Czechia looked like a superior team. They press high, knowing that South Africa struggles to build from the back, and South Africa is a team with tremendous nervousness when they are trying to play out, and Czechia capitalized on that immediately. Sadilek scored at the 6th minute with a long throw, a Czech specialty, then they exposed South Africa chaotic defense structure. Kloschek wins the first duel, Mudau reacts late, and the backline collapses. And then Sadilek can finish with composure. This was the best thing that Czechia did all the match. The rest of the 84 minutes, Czechia did not propose almost anything. After conceding, South Africa did not collapse surprisingly. They pushed higher, they pressed harder, and they began to win duels. South Africa came up with much more need and pressed much higher because they need it. Okay, this forced Czechia to abandon their initial plan. What I'm seeing in the second half is that from the minute 50 going onward, Czechia stopped playing. They actually, from the minute 50, Czechia were in a 5-3-2 stuck in their own box. They dropped deeper, they stopped pressing, they stopped combining, and they rely on throws and set pieces. This was not tactical discipline, it was fear. And South Africa dominated the midfielder uh, little by little. Okay, this was when Mokoena becomes the protagonist. He has 93 out of 97 passes completed, 92% accuracy into the final third, control rhythm, width, and tempo. He won duels, he had progressive play, and he dictated everything. He was an absolute Kaiser today. Adams also grew into the match, helping South Africa pin Czechia's back. On the other hand, we have a couple substitutions from Czechia. Okay, Sushek enters at the minute 67, was too late, and Shulk enters and immediately becomes the villain. Shulk is having probably the worst World Cup that everyone expected, and I think that he should not be playing anymore for Czechia team if they actually want to improve or do something else. And then penalty at the 83rd minute. This is when the justice arrives. South Africa have been pushing for 10 minutes, and Czechia were drowning in their own box. It was a cross from the right. Schultz handles the ball, clear penalty. Maikona steps up with confidence and he scores it, and it was finally an equalizer for South Korea. The match ended in Czechia's box, and South Africa could have won, but Czechia was just too nervous, too passive. It was deep, disorganized. They did not play like a team from Eastern Europe. I didn't feel anything with this game. I was rooting for Czechia, but it was a really weird game for me to watch when Czechia did not play for anything. On the other hand, I did really enjoy how the South Africa team was really brave, aggressive, confident, dominant. You can see it in the goal percentage. Czechia had 1.02, South Africa had 1.87. Okay, for me, Czech is one of the biggest disappointments in this World Cup so far. They have more talent, more experience, more European level players, but they play without bravery, without initiative, without ambition, and it's not something that I'm enjoying this World Cup, to be honest. On the other hand, South Africa, their midfield is really legit. Mokoen and Adams, they outplay a European midfield, they control tempo, they won duels, they progress play, created momentum, and this is a real identity. This is what you want from a team. Okay. Also, Hasek tactical decisions they really hurt the team. Shushik was benched too long. Shulk caused the penalty. He didn't do any adjustment to regain control. He didn't have no pressing triggers. Czechia regressed instead of improving. And they absolutely deserve the draw or even the win for South Africa. The group becomes a chaos, to be honest. It's Mexico 3, South Korea 3, Czechia 1, South Africa 1. Mexico actually has already 6 points now that I remember. And it's going to be a completely crazy final day match for this group. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, comment, and share. It will help me a lot. Uh, I'll see you in the next analysis. Thank you so much.